I think there's going to be a lot of keys for us. Quality at bats, obviously, having really good defense this weekend, and really just playing as hard as we can here. Just competing out there is all I ask for, and I know that these ladies will this weekend.
How important is it to have the experience for the seniors, especially coming from the 1A to the 2A level, knowing that 2 years ago they were up there?
It's really funny you asked me that. 2 years ago when we were up there, obviously really didn't expect it. Didn't know what to expect really my first year coaching, but really honestly blessed with what I was gifted with all of these girls. But honestly, I think they're just so much more prepared than they were 2 years ago, and just having that experience under their belt, they know what to expect. They know the feeling of being up there, and it means even so much more just because it's a 3-day event, so it's going to be so much fun.
Coaching the girls now, as you were a player like in their shoes, what's the difference like, and how do you compare those two?
Honestly, obviously there's a lot of difference, but there's still a lot of the same things. As far as playing and coaching, I'm still competitive. So that's one thing I really try to bring to them as far as my coaching side. But, even as, a player myself, I was so competitive, and that's what, I bring into this coaching rotation. But really, I just kind of bring this cool, calm, and collective portion of my coaching style, and I really want to bring that to those girls too. But it's a fun feeling, getting to coach obviously with my dad and Jeff, so it's a really good time.
What's it been like watching Lucy pitch, but also postseason as a senior leader?
Sure. I think it'll be really cool to see by the end of this weekend a lot of the records that she's broken. Right now I believe she's at 19 wins, which is phenomenal, just as a senior in general. But she's really became a lights out pitcher for us, and we've obviously heavily relied on her. But again, she brings so much competitive edge, so much fire when she pitches that she's just so locked in.
Yeah, it's definitely been crazy. I love playing against good competition. I strive to play good players. I always want to be playing the best, and I know that the 8 girls behind me can definitely get it done in the field, so it's easy to pitch when you have those girls behind you. Yeah, I'm super excited. It was so much fun sophomore year to do it in 1A, but we're just ready to do it in 2A, and we're still hungry, and we definitely want to come home with the gold. Yeah, the keys will definitely just be staying calm, cool, and collected, making the plays that need to be made. The last game I didn't hit my spots as well as I usually do. I had more walks than I usually do, but just building off of that, hitting my spots better, knowing that the girls behind me, they'll always be there.
2 years ago, you girls were up there. What have you learned in the experiences you have received? Now you're going back up there again.
Yeah, we've definitely matured a lot as a team, and in our playing level, we definitely have become strong and more athletic together. We're closer, and yeah, we're just ready for another great experience. We just got to keep doing what we've been doing all season. We're a great team, and I definitely believe we can get it done.
You're on a 20-game winning streak going into state. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
When you hear that as a coach, what goes through your mind?
I think what goes through my mind is I never want to lose. Honestly, I really didn't realize that till Greg Sapp talked about that highly. But I think ever since we got that loss against Richland County, I think that really kind of put a fire under the girls just to kind of want to compete even more, to win more games, and just to know that, they can play with anyone. But as far as, the 20-win streak, that's amazing. I'm really proud of being a part of that. It's really cool. But just really excited for these girls. Honestly, Taylor Ridge is a good team. We know that. We also know that we're a good team. But again, I think we're going to compete no matter what. Any team's good at this point. You get to the Final Four, teams become even better too. But, I think with this whole situation, I'm just really excited to see where we can go from here, what to expect. And, this is huge for our program, and just, the younger girls that watch this, and even, previous players we've had too. I think there's a lot of fans that we have right now really excited for us.
Yeah, so I feel like this journey has been huge. Being like, I've been with all these girls since sophomore year. I didn't have a year like my freshman year, so all these girls I've been with since my sophomore year. Coming into this year, got to know them all junior year, got to know them all this year. So going to state, I feel so confident with all these girls that have become like really close to me. Postseason's always crazy. It's kind of like May Madness instead of March Madness. So I feel like we've been on top of our game. We've been scoring runs, doing the little things right. So I feel like it's just been going really good for us so far.
What's it been like having the hitting contribute big time when it comes to big moments?
That's actually, it's amazing how good of hitters like we can be, and like how good of hitters each and every one of us are. So just everyone hitting, it just brings so much confidence to defense, so much confidence to games. It's just a big deal to have 1 through 9 be able to hit the ball.
I think it's been a good, cool experience. Like, we kind of got a feel of what it was like in freshman year with 1A, but I think this just means more because like it's actually like a real season, and it's our seniors last year. It's like our last time playing with Lucy, Cameron, Anna, and Kinsey, and Taylor too, and we're gonna miss them a lot. We've played like tough teams, and all of our games have been like really close. I think it's just like really cool for us to make this place. I think it's like really cool because the jump from 1A to 2A is like a lot bigger than what people think. Like the pitching gets better, the hitting gets better. Everything is just on a different level, and the fact that we could do it both in 1A and then again in 2A just, it means our team's just really good. We know all the teams going to state are all good teams, so there's like not going to be a game this weekend that we like know that we're just going to either get run ruled or run ruled them. So I think like since our past couple of games have all been close, we know like how to handle ourselves in these situations and know to not let the pressure get the most of us. And we're going to need that, especially playing a really good Rock Ridge team this weekend. Lucy is really good on the mound. Lucy is really good at hitting her spots, and which helps our defense out. Like if she's gonna throw it outside to a righty, then me and Addie know that's gonna come our way, and that helps a lot because we're usually not caught off guard based on where the ball goes. Lucy has also, her changeup has also gotten like a lot better, and she's been throwing off a lot of hitters with that. And when you don't allow, like she is really good at not walking people, and walks are very critical, especially when you have good hitters, because walks can kind of just ruin that.
As far as a coach, how do you prepare for these moments?
I think it's practice, practice, practice. I tell them all the time, how you practice is how you play. If you're not doing stuff in practice, that's exactly how you're going to reciprocate, and that's how it's going to be in a game. But again, we do the little things. We do a lot of small ball bunting. We got to be able to do that stuff. Just making sure we cover bases, getting in pickles. We work on that so highly in practice, and they're so ready for game situation play. But again, you got to compete up there, and that's what they're going to do.
How critical has Addie been in postseason, hitting a couple home runs these last couple games?
Huge, honestly. She's came up in big situations and really powered through. And these past 2 games, she's had her 2 home runs of the season, and I just think it brings so much more energy to the team, especially when home runs are hit too. So I'm really looking forward to see what she can do at state this year.
Addie, being a junior, what type of experience are you guys getting now, going from 1A to the 2A level, and now you're at state for the second time in 3 years?
It's just a lot different from 1A to 2A, even with how they're setting things up with the banquet, with the pictures that they need, all that stuff, and we're playing 2 days instead of 1 day. So it's just a lot different from my freshman year, and we know it. We're facing bigger schools and bigger towns, but we're ready to compete and show what we got.
What have you learned through this whole postseason with the 2A and just in general of being together as a team?
That we need to hit up and down the lineup 1 through 9, and we do that just fine. And some of our bench players hit just as well too. And seeing that other teams don't hit 1 through 9, that they just have certain batters that they can rely on, and that if someone in our lineup's not hitting good, then we rely on everybody else to pick us back up, and that helps a lot. Well, I've been not hitting so well lately, and I've been under everything or on top of everything, and so my dad and I have been working on adjustments, and I've been staying tall and not thinking about it as much and moving my hands up, and I just look for my pitch low and inside, and once I get it, I just drive it. We have to make sure that our contact's solid. As long as we're getting the bat to the ball hard, we'll be fine. And we don't need to finish our swing because she's throwing so hard. And as long as we're strong way defensively, like we usually are, then we'll be fine.
What excites you the most being at state in general?
Just showing that these teams in 2A, that we can compete with them since we got bumped up, and showing that the community that we're that good and that we're the underdogs, because we weren't ranked this year coming in, and we were just trying to prove a point. And the Champaign newspaper saying that Unity is going to beat us 6-4, and all these people just underrating us, and we're just proving our point now.
How do you feel like Lucy's pitched in this whole postseason, not giving up too many runs to the point where you guys are giving up run support?
We have spots that we obviously have to hit by pitching, and we set up defensively for those spots that Tim and Michaela call, and she hits them most of the time, and that helps us a lot because we're already in that spot defensively, so we know where the balls are supposed to go, and that helps us move and adjust, and we know as long as we score runs, then we'll be fine.
I think the excitement level is very huge. Since we're technically not a 2A school, there's no expectations for us, so we can just go in there knowing that there's nothing for us to lose, so we're all just gonna play our hearts out and try to win. But the keys for us to do good is obviously hitting. We know that this Rock Ridge team has a really good pitcher, and you can't really win if you don't score, so we know we've got to put the bat to the ball and hopefully play some small ball and stuff like that, because our team's really fast. Also, our fielding is gonna have to be good because these 2A hitters are just that good that we're gonna need that.
What's it been like playing for the San Jose Lady Bulldogs?
I feel like we're really lucky. I mean, Tim and Michaela are awesome. I mean, Chach is awesome. I always call them like a good luck charm. The girls are just amazing. I mean, this is probably, like, walking into the season, like, it's so crazy to have so many verbals and, like, commits, like, to college just on one team. Like, it's almost like we have a stacked team, and we can do so many great things. So it's just been an awesome ride.
What would it mean to you to win a state title in 2A?
That'd actually be awesome. I mean, we didn't do it 1A, and like I keep saying, like, everyone thought it was a big moment to get to super sectionals, but I think the big moment will be winning the next game and then winning the next game, and that'll just be so exciting, leaving St. Anthony knowing that we not only made it state 1A, but then we won 2A.
What would it mean to you as a junior to win a state title in 2A?
It means a lot because we obviously won't have the same team next year. We'll lose quite a few seniors that mean big part to this team, and it'll just be insane because most of our team is juniors, and knowing that we'll come back next year and be stronger and just show everybody that we're that good as juniors and seniors, it's a pretty big deal.
What would it mean to you to bring home the 2A state title?
I mean, honestly, that's every girl's dream, really. I mean, anyone's dream. You know, I think it would be huge for us, just as a program, as an area in general, and, you know, I just think it would bring softball up even more in this area. But to me, I just think it would be an amazing feeling, and just doing it with the surrounding group I've had these past couple of years would be so much more. So I think it's awesome. You know, as far as myself, obviously I have cousins that are coaches. They're everywhere, and it's funny because they're always tuning into the game, so it's really cool to hear, you know, Arizona, Utah, wherever they may be, that they're listening to it. But it's cool to see the support we have, because I can remember when I was in high school and that feeling of not, you know, having people come to games, and you know, now I'm like, I want that for these girls, and it was cool to see even at the super sectional game, just the amount of people that were there for them, and just faces you haven't seen in a long time. So obviously I hope we continue to get that support, and you know, I think this will be huge for us.
Coach, thanks for your time and good luck to you guys.
Hey, thank you.